Welcome to the show, Dave Temerance from the band Candle in the Dark. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful.
Good. Good to see you. I've never had the pleasure of meeting you.
I know you seem to be the only one working when I went to Axelrad to pick up my shirts.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, so
So
you
you,
didn't know because you were working.
yeah, okay.
I
All
saw
right.
you in
That
the
makes
office. Everybody else was around picking their nose.
Yeah, so you know my boss, Dave Maloney. He could
Yeah,
kind of set this up for us. So shout out Dave.
yeah.
He said you actually reached out to him and said, "Hey, I need to get a hold of Popko." I'm like, "Wow, that's an honor for me to be sought
Oh,
out." And
absolutely. I was following you back in the day on the radio. So
that's cool. Yeah, and
yeah.
it's funny because I mean I don't know how long you had this band, and we'll get into that. But I mean
Mhm.
I never came across your music when I had a radio show. Um, so we'll get into all that. But
Yeah.
Dave is also representing Clyde Rosenkrantz Studio for
You know what?
Public
That's
Audio.
funny. Yeah, see that? Yeah, I get paid for this. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll give you his shekels.
Yeah, that's what he does. Well,
Yeah,
he's my mentor.
Clyde's a great guy. He
Oh, yeah.
he's beyond his years. I thought he was older than me because he just kind of that's the aura he kind of portrays. I guess you could say.
Yeah. He's a hipster.
Yeah, but he has this like just like calmness and maturity about him.
Well,
Um,
yeah, he's analog.
yeah,
Yeah, he's not digital. He's analog.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I've always thought he was older and wiser than me. We found
yeah,
out that he is not older, just wiser.
yeah. I feel the same.
Yeah. But Candle in the Dark. I mean, you got some shows coming up, and that's why we're here kind of to talk to today.
Mhm.
We've got shows at Montage on September 22nd. When this airs, it'll be this Friday. With the 97.9X locals only live, which is for a great cause, and we'll get into that. And then September 23rd, the following day at the River Street Jazz Cafe. So, Dave, tell me a little bit about Candle in the Dark, because, again, like I said, I'm unfortunately not familiar, and I wasn't until Dave sent me your name, and I looked you up, and I was pleasantly surprised, and maybe surprised isn't the right word, but I listened to the music, and I was like, I dig this. This is cool. Let's talk to Dave. So, tell me about Candle in the Dark. Candle in the
Well,
Dark. It's getting late.
I'm an 80s kid, right? So it's a blend of everything. I mean, obviously growing up in the 80s, 90s, you had a blend of music. There's rock music, metal music. Um, my daughter, who's now 22 years old, came to me when she was around 16, and she's like, "Dad, I got some songs I want to do." So me, just like you, was pleasantly surprised, right? Okay. So I'm like reading these lyrics and I'm like, all right, well, she's expressing herself. I'm like, you don't play an instrument.
So
So how,
she wrote them.
yeah. So she
Okay,
wrote,
cool,
well, she wrote a bunch of lyrics,
cool, got it.
and there were a couple songs that she had just sung the melody line, and I just come up underneath her with a rhythm. And I'm like, this is pretty good. So I took it to my buddy John, who is the guitar player in Candle in the Dark with us. We've been playing together since high school, like a little after high school. We've been forever. And I'm like, he had a studio before I did. So we just went down there, put the songs together, recorded, I think, 3 or 4 tracks. 2 of them she sings on, 2 of them I sang on. And we did release them. So there's My Own Enemy, Breath, and Trepidation. So Trepidation is the one that she sang on that we released. So they're up on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. Just we had them, they were on the back burner. So this is probably, I don't know, I can't do math, but let's just say 5-6 years ago we already had these songs. And probably, COVID, right before COVID, I'm like building my studio at the house, and I just got engulfed in it. And I'm like, I'm going to release these. So we re-recorded them and put them up. And I just kept going. I kept writing music. Me and my daughter wrote lyrics together. Uh, and that's what you heard, most likely, the EP.
Yep.
So the majority of the lyrics she writes, or we work on them together. And that's where it came from. It was just we were just doing a studio thing. I had no intention on doing a live band. Our bass player played in a jam band, Old Cabbage. He plays with Jamie Anzalone. He plays with 40 Pound Head. So like everybody's in working bands, but me, because I like to just sit home in the studio. I'm a
Sure.
studio guy.
Yeah.
And just one day, I guess what it was we were like, okay, we have 9 songs. What are we going to do with them? Everybody's like, don't you have a band? Don't you have a band? And I had said, a drummer that we played with back in the 90s, I'm like, I'm only doing a live thing if he's interested. And he just so happens to play in like 5 working bands currently, I think.
Is it AJ Jump?
Oh, no, because then I would have said 20 working bands, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I did Kevin Conway. He plays with Old Friends Reunion, Mason Dixon, a bunch of, so I think he probably plays in like 3 or 4 Grateful Dead tribute things.
Right.
And I know him as a metal drummer from back in the 90s. And it was just kind of like he was like, hey, this is something different. It's not covers, this is more rock.
Yeah.
And get him back to, let's say, his roots. And we all hit it off, which was great. So I'd say that we've only been probably doing this 6 months as a live band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, because it was just me, John on guitar, and Gary on bass. So that's all it was. And all we really needed was a drummer. So we ended up picking him up, and now it's, we're in the writing phase. I'm actually ready to record another album, but with Kevin playing drums on it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When Dave passed you along to me, and I kind of was digging around, and I'm like, this might be something I'm not interested in. Guy,
Mhm.
shaved head, tattoos. I'm expecting metal, like screaming, like old school, like metal that I'm just not interested in.
Yeah.
But like I said, and I guess that's why I said pleasantly surprised, just because I was like, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Oh yeah, right. Well, yeah. I mean, I've been a metal guy my whole life. I feel like I'm playing Lawrence Welk now. It's great. I'm like, this is the Barry Manilow phase for me. I have people saying it's metal right now, or it's hard. I mean, to me, it's 90s rock.
Yeah.
This is definitely a side that I've never been involved in at all, especially singing. It's always been metal. I mean, I have stuff out there right now that I have thrash metal out there. I have like progressive metal out there. And I'm actually enjoying this the most.
It's great stuff. So tell the people kind of what Candle in the Dark plays as far as music goes. Like, what can they expect?
Well, I mean, you expect a little bit of everything. Vocally, I mean, I always try, no matter how hard the music gets, I always try to have harmonies in there. Like, it's just, to me, I mean, I love black metal, I love that, but that's not what I do, so I was trying to blend a little bit of I don't know, it's our influences. I mean, we're listening to everything from Megadeth, Anthrax, Alice in Chains, Stain, like all of that stuff. I would say those influencers are definitely in there, but you're going to get a little bit more of John Mayer and Lane Staley do a Bon Jovi cover.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna have that 90s harmonization, but like a hair metal kind of melody is what I'm saying. So it's it really is, to me. I it's hard for me to describe my own music, in that respect.
Well, for me, I was like, I like music that has melody and just like very melodic and things like that. So I think that's what immediately, to my ear was like, okay, this is something I can listen to, and this is something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
So
oddly enough, when you have a Spotify artist account, it tells you your demographic, like your age groups and everything. And it's crazy. It's like the 35 to 50 crowd is like, that's 80% of what listens to us, so it's kind of interesting.
Well, that makes sense.
That up. Yeah.
That
which I
makes
mean,
sense. If
yeah,
you're saying that kind of that's a '90s rock vibe. I
yeah,
mean, we're
that's
getting
what
older.
that
I
what
don't know how old you are now.
I'm 50. I'll be 51 in October.
You look fucking great for 50.
Oh, you know what? You need to clean your camera.
I'm not even saying that to be. I'm not even saying to be nice because you're in front of me. I'm like, that okay. I was thinking, early to mid 40s.
Yeah, well, yeah,
That's what I was.
it's yeah. All my white hair is shaved. If you check out my Instagram or anything from the Frankenstrat studio one, you'll see stuff back in the winter when I let it grow in. I mean, it's a big white beard.
I'll check that out.
Yeah,
Every now and then, I consider shaving my head again. I used to shave it back in like 2019 was the last time I did it, and then when the pandemic hit, I just let it grow.
yeah.
And then we were supposed to go to Vegas for work with Dave Maloney and the boys, and I was like, I'm 40 years old. Like, what's the end? Well, I'm almost 40, not yet. What's the end game here? What I can't be a 40-year-old with long hair. Like this is stupid, right? So then I cut it off, and I regret it now.
Oh, yeah.
I regret it.
If believe me, if there was that pill, I'd be taking it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
hair is overrated.
I agree. This, seriously though, grew up. I mean, 12 years old, my hair was already over my shoulders. So, I've had that my whole life, and it just kind of went away.
I had a great Halloween costume last year when my hair was long. I didn't shower for 4 days, and I went as an inmate. And my son, who's at the time was 3, almost 4, he was a police officer. So
Oh, that's excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. But yeah, so you have this '90s rock kind of vibe.
Mhm.
You've been playing live as a live band for the past like 6 months. Have you
Yeah.
played a show live yet? I mean,
Nope. That our debut, believe it or not, will be Montage.
so your debut, so let's talk about that. All right, we have the 97.9X locals only live.
Yep.
How do I say this without being an asshole? Little envious of the fact that their show is still going. I'm happy it's going. I'm happy because it's important that there are stations out there, especially a station like 97.9X, who is owned by Cumulus, who's has stations all over the country. For them to dedicate an hour of their airtime for local music
Yeah.
is a great thing. I will never.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous because, as you know, you
Yeah.
mentioned before, I used to have a radio show as well,
Hmm.
where I used to feature an hour's worth of music on. It was 92.1. They flipped the channel, canceled the show. The rest is history. So I forced my way back into the scene by doing this and having a
Yeah.
podcast and saying, "Fuck you, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere."
Right.
But so yeah, so I'm happy that 97.9X is still doing it. They kind of had that show years and years ago before they
Mhm.
brought it back. But so they're doing this thing at Montage on September 22nd, locals only live, featuring 5 bands. And I can't remember the 5 off the top of my head. It's Candle in the Dark.
Holtzman Effect.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Holtzman Effect, Candle in the Dark, Stay Loud, Traverse the Abyss, and Murder Witch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Stay Loud, excellent band. Holtzman
Yeah.
Effect, excellent band. I'm not familiar with Murder Witch.
It's kind of it's like a doom metal thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Butch
right.
Frabel played
Oh,
in,
Butch. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. He puts together something. He retires every month and puts something new together every other month.
Okay.
He's been, yeah, well, I've known him since I'm a kid. It's amazing. I can't believe how many bands he's been in.
Yeah. Butch. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, that event, and I want you to talk a little bit about that, because it's not only is it a showcase of great local musicians and bands, but it's for a good cause. I think 97.9X Duffy is part of the Paint Pittston Pink,
Yep.
raising money for cancer awareness and things
Yeah.
like that. So
He has to do a 50-yard dash in women's heels.
he'll be perfect. Like, don't let him fool you.
Well, no, but yeah, I mean, they're his heels.
Oh, of course, he has him on right now at home.
He's
let him fool you.
practicing. He's running the stairs.
Don't let him fool you. He's right now. It's what is it, 9:20 on a Wednesday night. He's got them on right now. Don't let him fool
Yeah.
you.
He's good at it.
Well, yeah, he's a competitive guy. He wants to
Absolutely.
make sure he's got a good time and not fall on his ass.
Yeah, right.
So congrats to Duffy for being part of that.
Yeah, he's
Raising money
awesome.
for a great
Yeah.
cause. I used to work with Duffy. He used to be at when it was Fuzz
Oh yeah.
2-1. So I had the pleasure of working with him. He was just an Axelrad the other day. He's going to be on a future episode of this, so I'm looking forward to that. But
Oh, it's great.
yeah, great guy. So they're they're putting the show on. The money at the door, I think it's like a $5 or $10
10
donation
bucks. Yep.
because it goes right to the
Absolutely. Yeah.
cause. So I mean, talk about this. This is like your first show ever.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, first show ever, or just as this band?
Oh, for this band. Yeah.
Okay, you believe
I've been doing this almost 40
you're a
years.
pro, right? Okay, you're a pro. But so I mean, talk about like, I mean, it's not like you're playing a corner bar that 5 people might show up to. I mean,
Well,
it's a well promoted event. It's at a great
yep.
venue. Talk about that.
Well, the joke here was it was probably within the first week when we came in the studio. I had just built this place, and I built right now we're in the recording room, and adjacent to it is the live room. And we were standing in there, and I said, okay, here's the plan. We're going to play the jazz club, we're going to play Montage, and then we're going to play the arena. That's how I said we're going to do 3 shows. That was a joke.
Right.
And then what was funny though was, okay, obviously the jazz show came first. We had that booked for months now. And Duffy called me and wanted to know, he's like, hey, are you at the studio? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I want to come down and see it. So that was awesome. He got to come down, check the place out. And he's like, okay, the real reason I'm here is what are you doing the night before your debut show? And I'm like, nothing. And he's like, how would you like to play this? I'm trying to put something together right now. And I believe he had already reached out to Holtzman. They said, yeah. And obviously we said, yeah. And so we're doing a different order. It's not quite the Montage I was talking about. I was talking,
No one needs to know.
I know, right?
All
I
you do
know.
is we play on the Montage Mountain. Like
That's all I'm gonna say, right?
Ski Lodge, don't just leave that part out. Leave that part out.
It's still a huge venue, right? It's
it's one of those things like you tell your girlfriend or your wife if they don't ask, don't tell. Like
yeah, right. Yeah.
So
So yeah,
Montage. That's it.
it's Montage. And what's funny is like, so me and John, we haven't, I don't think that my daughter's 16th birthday, we played a Sweet 16 party, 4 songs that she wrote back then. That was probably the first time me and John were on stage together since 2000. So we had a big hiatus between me and him. He's been in working bands. I stopped, and it just, I mean, there was only 150 people there. We knew them all, obviously. It was her birthday party. And it felt super natural, like I haven't stopped. And that's how I'm kind of thinking about this. It's funny. We got all this press. We got all, call it pressure is going to be up there or whatever. And I just feel like I can't wait to do it. I'm excited for it, happy about it, not nervous. I'm hoping I get up there and I just totally make a fool of myself,
No, you're a pro.
That's what they say. I don't know. They keep calling. They keep telling me I'm going to do great. Duffy, I don't know how he did it. I don't know why he did it, but it was amazing. He put me right in the middle of all the big guys. I ended up, I heard Alice in Chains play. I heard something else play. I can't remember what. And then we played right on regular airtime. Was kind of an awesome experience in the middle of the day.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I mean, we've been on the radio before, but remember back in the day, it was all college radio, right? We were on Wilkes. We were on Wilkes every week.
Yep.
So, that was amazing back then when you were young, right? And then you got used to it. And then now it's like, oh, I put my stuff, I got a verified Spotify account. I'm a Spotify artist, So it's exciting still. I mean, I still feel literally like I did my teens, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one thing that, obviously radio, it's still a powerful medium, right?
Yeah.
But it's obviously taken its hits, because of things like Spotify and Sirius and, you name it, it's out there, right?
Right.
But like, people always ask me like, do bands find value in being on the radio? And I said, absolutely. I mean, when I had the radio show, people would go out to their cars and like video the station, like the
Yep.
the dial or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was just really cool because it's like any idiot can have their music on Spotify. It's not hard.
Right.
I
I know.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot and I have a podcast. Like everyone, like every other
Hey, I
jerk in the
follow
world.
it. I follow it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're one of my 5 listeners. Thank you.
Oh, there's
Um,
7.
no, but like, I mean, it's so easy to get up there and like there's no vetting, right? But like
Yeah.
with radio and being featured on it, like at least one person has to listen to it
Oh, yeah.
and at least appreciate the production and say, okay, this is good enough for me to not only air on they do their shows on Sunday at 7,
Yeah.
but also like throw in the mix with Alice in Chains at around
That was
drive time or
that.
whatever it might be.
Yeah. That was
That's
awesome for
cool.
me.
So I mean, good for that station doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote, recorded, and mixed that entire album in my house.
That's awesome.
Right. So that was a really good feeling, but I mean, and then like you had said, so the Life I Live was what they played on the regular airtime. And what was interesting about it is, I probably listened to that song 500 times, between mixing it, recording it, all of that, maybe more than 500 times. And then when Clyde sent it back to me mastered, I probably listened to it another 100 times. And it was like the first time I ever heard it when it was on that radio in my truck.
Yeah.
So it's still a great feeling. It really, it's awesome.
There's definitely some
yeah, it's fun.
I mean, every kid wants to be on the radio, right?
Yeah, right. That's what you were searching for.
Yeah. So, and Duffy, I mean, if you're looking the Lazy E, if you're looking for a partner in crime, I'm not busy. I'll come out of retirement. Let's do a show together.
I think you should. It'd be an amazing thing.
I know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, those guys are awesome. Lazy E is great too.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, he's the only DJ that I've ever what I concentrate on when I listen to him is him breathing in.
Yes, it's a very big yeah.
Hey, it's in between everything,
Yep.
It's amazing to me. It's crazy. It's like a trait that that's how I recognize him instantly when I first, probably the first 2 times I heard him. I'm like, oh, okay, that's his thing.
And he gets a lot out.
He's a very hard breather.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's almost like he has a room and he's just got pure oxygen in it.
So yeah, I mean, September 22nd, Montage.
Mhm.
Great cause, great bands. And then the next day, I mean, I don't know if you can handle it. I mean, you said you're in your 50s now, right?
Yeah, it's gonna,
Yeah. Can you do back-to-backs?
well, I'm probably just not gonna sleep.
Okay.
You
Well, yeah.
I'm just,
I mean, you talked
like monster.
you talked before about having monsters. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, what time is it? 9:28.
It is 9:28 Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
We're drinking monsters. I'm trying to scale it back with some beers here.
Oh, what do you got?
Oh, nothing good. Well, this is good. I actually have a Cape May mango crush in it.
Nice.
I'm gonna follow that with just a Bud Light.
Yeah. Well, you got to slow down somehow,
I've got a big night tomorrow night, and I don't know if you're gonna be around or not, but tomorrow night. So this is gonna air. So anyone listening to this will all have passed. But tomorrow night is the Steamtown Music Awards.
Yep.
I'm up for 2 categories. I was nominated for 2 categories, so hopefully, I'll take home 1 or 2 of those. But
yeah.
The problem is, I don't get out often. I have 2 children now. One is a little girl who is 9 weeks old, so she is very much a wild card in the sense of sleeping and all that.
You don't know if
stuff.
you're sleeping, right?
Yeah, I don't know these days. So I don't get out often, right? So this is like the one night a year that I go out and make sure, because it's a great time. All the musicians are out. They've a night, that's the night to kind of mingle together and talk and hang out. So I'm excited for that tomorrow night. I'm going to take an Uber there, an Uber home in case things get wild.
I wouldn't even go home. I mean, you figure if this is your only night out, you have the whole rest of the year to beg for forgiveness. You know what I mean? I mean, just, get yourself in trouble. Just stay out all night.
Yeah,
I know I would never do that, of course.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no,
It doesn't sound
no,
like you've ever done that before.
no. Well, I can't do it anymore. I mean, my wife's tougher than my mom. So, you know, I don't mess with her.
They're very tough. It's weird.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know
It's
how that
weird.
happens.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what it is. It's
But
this
yeah,
weird thing.
you're gonna come home with an award. Clyde, I hope, comes home with 3 or 5. Well, I don't even know. He's nominated for everything. He does
Yeah,
everything.
he's playing tomorrow night. I'm looking really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sleep Lore. That's going to be great. I have not seen him perform live yet with that project.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when he put that out late 2020, I think it was.
Mhm.
I was blown away. I mean, it's funny because I've known of Clyde. I mean,
Yeah.
I ran around with the Weekender. I was very young though, and like the bands that were performing back then, I was probably drunk during their performances.
Yeah.
So I never like took the time to really like connect with them, so to speak.
Yeah.
But he was in a lot of great
He's
bands.
amazing. He's an amazing musician.
Yeah.
Everything. It's just, yeah, he's got a great haircut.
Yeah, right?
Perfect hair.
Perfect hair.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's got that perfect little cuff in his jeans and everything.
And he's got the beard, even the beard. The beard is like a
Everything about it. Well,
like
I think he pays like $200 or $300 for that loyalty, right?
oh, probably, yeah.
A week.
A week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he goes in every morning, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
He works from home, but he goes there every morning to get dolled up.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
But god damn it.
that's great.
He's handsome,
Yeah.
talented. God damn it.
So the Sleep Lore CD, that was the only CD I had in my truck until I had mine pressed.
Oh yeah?
Oh my God, yeah, I listen to it every day.
Yeah.
It's, and another thing which is great because every single song there has a different flavor to me. It's amazing. It's like, to me, it's a compilation of
That's
his
what
life's work. Yeah.
That's what I told him because every time he put out a new single, I'm like, this is like different from the last one. This is great.
Yeah. 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 It's awesome. Yeah. So he's been a major influence on me with this album. Everything like I don't know how many times I sent him something and he has never sent anything back without notes, and it was nice. Producer's ear, hey, you guys, this should build up. You need to change this. This is missing something, or this has too much. And I, no ego, I change it. And then same thing with the audio end of it, which was not many people, he spent all that time developing his craft. And to me, I feel like he gives it away for free to me, which is amazing. So, it's a good teamwork as far as I'm concerned.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so he I think he was one of the influences that, as far as me doing a live thing, that was kind of I asked him to be the third guitar player. And
He turned you down?
yeah, of course he did. He's like, I'm playing with Miz.
Yeah, I mean,
He came here. They rehearsed here live before Miz's show last week, or was it last week or the week before they went to the Brooklyn Bowl there. They came here and then they rehearsed here in the studio. It was amazing.
yeah, you keep saying here and in the studio. I mean,
Oh yeah,
what do you got?
I'm at Frankenstrat Studios.
Frankenstrat Studio.
Yeah.
Interesting name.
Well, I have a Frankenstrat up on the wall. It's a compilation of a USA Stratocaster with a bunch of parts I got from Butch Frabel. So that's all he does is take guitars apart and swap parts. And so it's been my Frankenstrat. So when I was naming my studio, I decided to name it Frankenstrat.
Okay.
I still have that. I mean, I've had that guitar since I'm a kid.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what do you do out of there?
Literally my own work. So it's all of the Candle in the Dark stuff's been recorded here. All of the I have Fourth Dimension. That's like a 90s thing that I did back then. I released another. I think I released 2 albums in 2020. Dark Within, which is like a thrash metal, and then the Fourth Dimension stuff, which was like, I call it like dad rock. It's like a progressive metal kind of thing. We didn't really do anything else, no live stuff with that. I just used all programmed drums and stuff. It was a little more fun that way.
Mm-hmm.
And but the Candle in the Dark, that I don't know. It seemed to be more of a fun thing to do live. I don't think I want to do the other stuff live, because especially thrash metal, as awesome as it is, and as much as I enjoy playing it, it really sucks lugging all your gear out and playing for the 3 people that came with you, you know?
I like that.
Yeah, it's,
I like
I,
that.
I come from a time where you paid to play.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you want to play. All right, well, you have to come here with a busload of people. And if you don't, you have to pay as if there was a busload of people.
Mm,
So that's how it was. And if you wanted to play some showcase in New York, I don't know
right.
if it's still that way. I mean,
I don't know
but
how things work these days.
I don't know. It seems like everybody's a rock star now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, everyone can
Yeah.
at least pretend to be.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
social media. I mean, I can't tell you how many people that I know that are on social media, and it's like what they portray to be on social media is the complete opposite of who they are as a person. It's like,
Right,
I
right.
know who you are. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm actually worse in person. Like, yeah, like so so like no matter what you think of me, whether you like me, you hate me, you think I'm a moron, any of that, I am 10 times any of what you think in person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
So what is this right now? Is this internet? Like
This
what we're doing right now? Like so like if I met you face to face, you'd
I'm
be
more of an idiot.
okay.
I belong on the Free Beer and Hot Wing show.
Okay.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I always have something stupid to say. I've been reserved here. I'm acting like this is a G-rated show. Uh, I have a pretty
Don't
foul mouth.
don't hold back. I mean, this is the internet. We can do whatever we want.
I heard that. I
Whatever
heard
you
that.
want.
It's
You can
bad.
join OnlyFans if you wanted to.
So, you know, I I don't really know anything about it. I always thought it was
I don't either.
porn. No, but I thought it was porn or something. And then
Initially, I
somebody
think it
said,
was, yeah.
and now somebody said that it's supposed to be clean, I guess.
Uh,
I don't really know.
so the thing about it is
I think
like
Duffy has one, right?
I can't confirm nor deny that. I imagine if he does,
He's gonna
it's
kill me when he
probably
hears that.
just it's probably just pictures or videos of like his knee down
With his heels.
showing the pink heels. Yes. But I mean, people make good money doing that. That's
I
so so like and especially during the pandemic, like
Yeah,
people got on that, mostly women, right?
yeah.
I mean, how do I say this without being sound like an asshole? Like,
If you have to start it out with that line,
well, I don't
just
want to.
go,
I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I
just
don't want
go
to.
for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be my words to be misconstrued, right? But like making money as a woman has never been easier. Like on the internet. I mean, I get the
Can't
gender pay
deny that.
gaps, the gender pay gaps. I don't want to. That's what I don't want to get into. I don't want to like get into like that whole hierarchy and things like that. But when it comes to an OnlyFans account, a woman is going to make far more money than if I were to have
Yeah,
an
because there's
OnlyFans.
there's way more scummy guys out there.
Right, we're scumbags. We're disgusting. But
I
no, so
mean,
like
yeah,
but like I'm so intrigued. I'm so interested in it all. Just I'm a very curious person, right? But I can't have an OnlyFans because I'm happily married. I don't ever want my wife to think otherwise, right? Um, we respect our women, right?
yeah.
Um, but I heard of people being on it, people that I don't know very well, but like are like live around here. And I'm like, I just want to know what they're doing. What are you doing? I want to see it.
Tell me something. Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't we get it in like written, like just get it in text? Like, what are
Right.
you doing on there, and
Right.
read
I
about
just
it in
I
text?
just want to know. I heard stories like, and I don't want to like, it's a he said she said thing. Like, I just want to know.
You know what happens? You sign on to that ever, and everything you ever sign on to again is going to have that up in the corner as an advertisement.
Yeah.
You know, all the cookies that are, every time you sign on to something, just like when you know how that is. You're talking, you're within earshot of your phone, you pick up your phone, you turn on Facebook, and you're
Yep.
like, yeah, I really did want those socks.
We're
Like no
gonna get
matter
it.
what you're talking
We'll get
about.
it right now. We're gonna get off this chat, and we're gonna get ads delivered to us.
Exactly.
But yes, I'm very curious because, like you said, it's not all nudity. I mean, women make a lot of money never showing a nipple or a vagina. They'll show feet. I mean, I've seen stuff on the news that say like they sold farts in a jar.
That was my idea.
Sure, it was.
Oh no, this 20 years ago. I used to tell everybody I was going to give them fart in a jar for Christmas. You know what I mean? And then just never really did it. I should have done it.
Yeah, you fucked up, man.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Another weird thing. So here's what you have to do. And this, again, just being an idiot. I don't know how I came across it, what I was searching for, but on eBay, you can buy used men's socks.
Who's buying that?
I don't know. So there's like used men's socks and it says construction worker, not washed. I think it's got to be some kind of fetish.
People are weird.
Yeah, this is dirty socks. So you could save your dirty socks and you could sell them and you could pay your kids' tuition with it.
Huh.
It's amazing. I don't know what you're doing at Axelrad.
I'm doing the wrong
Should be
thing.
selling socks, not shirts.
I'm doing this. No, I'm doing the wrong thing. I think.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know, man. I always thought Dave Maloney was going to be a pro BMXer, you know?
Dude, his brain, like, there's one thing about Dave, and I assume that you've known him a very long time.
Since they were kids, yeah.
There's something about him. He has these visions for things.
Yeah.
And when he says it, I can never like really picture it, but then when it happens, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I mean, Axelrad, that what it is right now is a sight to be seen.
I literally remember when it was just like that screen, and it was obviously everybody that works there is a bike rider, and they're all friends, and it's been that way since the beginning. And everybody I knew was doing shirts just for themselves, and Dave became like the king of it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And it just this thing about him. It's just like how do I say it? Like he just has this aura about him, and this like you immediately want to be on his team. And like, I mean, that's how I got to know Dave, was when he started Axelrad when it was in Kingston on Kingston Corners. I was at the Weekender, and I don't know if I was there for advertising or what it was.
Remember,
but like,
it was just that front too. It was the small area.
Yeah. And then they built like they knocked down walls in the back and shit like that. So I mean, I've been part of like Axelrad since it's like
that's awesome.
The beginning, outside of like his mom's basement. But I've just seen it like grow every single time. So I'm so happy to be part of it. Like, because I remember like when I was at the Weekender, like I love the Weekender. Like I was Johnny Weekender. Like I lived, breathed, and died that product, right? So I loved Axelrad, and had I not loved the Weekender, I probably would have asked Dave for a job somehow. So it's kind of funny that I actually work there now. But yeah, he's just this guy who just like you want to be on his team. I mean, like I said, going back to what I was saying just a few seconds ago, just like his visions for things, like when he says it out loud, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. And then it happens and it's like, oh, okay, wow, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, originally, it was funny too, because he may confirm this. I believe that before, like when I was on my search for drummers, Dave's like, I got drums upstairs at Axelrad.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you got to come up and jam. And I'm like, I don't want this to be like a hardcore band. I didn't know, because I'm thinking these guys are going to be playing punk, right? They're going to be, all I'm thinking is, what are they going to be playing? Everything that Dennis wants to play or any of that stuff, And I'm like, all right, I don't need that kind of a drummer. But it was just like, it kept in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, Dave Maloney, I wonder if he could play drums to this stuff. And, but, now I'm here where I'm at, but I mean, Dave's on reserve for me,
Right.
But yeah, I still have yet to get there to jam.
Yeah, it's there. They have not jammed in quite some time, which is odd because like now we're going back into a busy season, but like you think that would have happened like a month or two ago when we were in a little bit of a lull, but that didn't. We were probably trying to get out of there early to go swimming and shit like that. But
you were going home to change diapers.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter was born July 11th, so it was half the summer was spent doing it all over again. Because my son, he'll be 5 in December, so it's like he's pretty self-sufficient. So we're starting over again.
Well, yeah, well, that's a good time, at least you didn't space them out too far. Me and my brother are 12 years apart.
Yeah, I mean, if it
So
were up to us, it would have been, 2 years, but we had some issues along the way.
yeah,
But it's good in the sense that, like, I think that if we had children that were like 2 years apart, it would have been very chaotic, and
yeah,
like we still had like to do stuff, and like my wife gives me time to do this podcast that makes $0. Um,
that's why it's good.
yeah, the man hasn't been a part of it yet. Like, yeah, the corporate machine hasn't taken over. But
Well, they can't cancel you.
yeah, well, I always that's what Dennis says too a lot. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna get canceled." I'm like, "You gotta be someone to get canceled." So no one's coming to cancel me.
Oh man.
But so it's good in that, like, my son is not only is he a very good kid, he's very helpful at this age because
Yeah,
he's older. So I only have to watch one. Like, he's good on his own.
yeah,
Um, so it's all good. It's all real good.
yeah, that's great.
But it sounds like you know a lot of people in this local music scene.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And where does
Well, I
that come
mean,
from? Just being,
being in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sharing the stage with all those people. I mean, I'm talking the band Free Fall. You remember like that kind of stuff, the old staircase playing there. I mean,
I was never there.
oh, how old? Oh yeah, you're too young.
Yeah. So I missed, like, probably by like 6 months to a year, like a lot of great venues.
Yeah, so the original staircase, not the animal hospital one, but the original one over wherever I don't even know what the name of that shopping center is, but I mean, Z Rock was around back then. That was the radio station that played our rock stuff. They had a battle of the bands there. It was pretty cool. Like we were always involved in something like that. I mean, even dating back to like Roller King, they had battle of the bands. And I mean, we were joking the other day that Columbia Hose Company, it's up in Jackson Street in Edwardsville, is for sale. We played our first show there in like 1990. Like, and I said to him, I said, man, we should buy that. Like and what was crazy, we played that show in 1990, charged people like $4, and we were over capacity. It was crazy. What we used to, you made flyers,
Yeah.
right? So we made flyers, and we go flyer in everybody's car. We'd go down to Guys and Dolls parking lot and hit them up, all that. We would even go to the bars. It was Jitterbugs at the time, and
Yeah.
we go to those bars and flyer cars. They probably wanted to kill us,
Sure.
but it was crazy. We would have 150, 200 people in that little area in the Columbia Hose Company. It was insane. uh you know Somebody's cheap PA system, it was just terrible. Your guitar's out of tune, drum set falling apart. It was, yeah. And then I think where else did we play back then? Was like the factory, I guess it was the underground or the mines or whatever
Yeah.
they call it
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
it was just like the old Blues Brothers, the chicken wire in front of the fence. There was a like live electrical cables hanging down. It was insane. Like people throwing, smashing bottles on the fence in front of us while we're playing on stage. So it was a really cool scene. Well, for us anyway. We thought we were rock stars, but
It's better than what it is now. Like, and I feel
yeah.
like I mean, the phone's probably right. Like, I mean, you can't piss without someone,
Oh yeah.
taking a
Oh,
video. It's
absolutely.
like,
So that, all the entertainment of the entire world is in your hand, which fortunately this is why you're doing this. You're at least you're taking advantage of that too, in a
right.
sense, which
But
is
what
good.
I'm saying though too is, like, you can't act a fool outside in public
No.
because someone's going to take a video of
Oh
that
yeah.
and it's going to go viral on the internet. You can't. I mean, I think the statute of limitations is up. At Bruise Brothers back in, I think it was '05. Might be this time I told this story, like, in public.
Well, listen, all seven of us are going to be all over this story.
Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell it in public. I don't feel safe. I'll tell you. I'll tell you off air. But what I'm getting at is, like, you could do stupid shit and you
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about, like, it being on the internet forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Well, I mean, now I'm going to put this on the internet. Speaking of the mines or the factory, I think it was called the underground back then. It was before it was the factory. than
Because
the
that was the old
underground.
King's Gym, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were down there. We played there. It was probably 89 or 90. I don't know, somewhere around that time frame. The singer for Murder Witch, Kenny, at the time he was in a death metal band called Ossuary. He was on that stage. Everybody's throwing stuff against the glass breaking everything all against a chain. I mean, this was literally a chain link fence in front of the stage. He's climbing the fence and he's headbutting the fence, and there starts blood running down his head a little bit. He's jumping up and down. There's a light bulb right above his head. All it is a light bulb and a wire, and it smashes, and then it's sparking on his head, and he's got blood running down, and he doesn't miss a beat. He screams his ass off for the rest of this night. He's got blood all over. It was amazing. It was, I mean, honestly, the only thing he possibly could have done to be any cooler is like just slit a chicken's throat or something. You know what I mean? Like he had to sacrifice on stage or something.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I think he has a heart condition now, so I don't think he jumps around like that as much. But his vocals are incredible. And it's funny, like sharing a stage that long ago, and I'm going to be back. And the same with Butch. I haven't been on stage with Butch since probably the mid '90s. Shared a stage with them anyway. We used to play like the Hot Spot Lounge in Scranton. There used to be right the River Street exit. There was a Salvation Army there.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind it, there used to be a building. It was the Hot Spot Lounge. We would do all metal original nights on Tuesday. You couldn't walk through there. We have to come in through the kitchen to get to the stage. It was amazing that how times have changed, where nobody even wants to see a cover band now. They want to see duets, or they want to sing karaoke. And I don't know if that's only because the clubs changed it, or I mean, because look at the V Spot, man. That place is hopping.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because I've been wanting to kind of like interject there. Like, I feel like the scene changes every 4 to 5 years, and it changes quick too. Like what I witnessed. My wife's 4 years younger than me. There was so much that was gone when she turned 21, and there was like before me. Like, I feel like I still had a good time, and there was still a vibrant scene, but like I know that before me was even crazier. Like 4 or 5 years before me, and then 10 years before that was even nuts. Like it's so weird how things get, and it doesn't take long. It's like I said, 4 or 5 years. It just kind of like changes, and I think now especially it's because of a lot of different things. It's DUIs, it's it's internet. I think people are more health conscious. Like, they don't want to, like, drinking 5 days a week. We know that that's not healthy now. Like, I'm not going to do that.
I just learned something today.
There you go. No, but like, I mean, back when I was like, 21, 22, like there was a bar that you go to every night of the week. It was like like a dedicated place to go. And that was my time. Like, I can't imagine what it was like before that. It was probably even wilder. I mean, I've heard stories about different places that I can't even imagine that even happening. So it's just wild how things change that quickly.
The back page of the Citizen's Voice used to be full. Like, there would be those 4x4 squares full of every single bar in the area, and almost every single bar had live entertainment Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Always, and I mean, I get that things do change, obviously. I mean, to me, it's up to the venue. It's up to the venue to keep it going, right? I mean, the musician's not going to be it, but if the venue closes, the musician plays nowhere. So you want to keep the music scene going, the venues do. They have to do it.
Well, I think it's a different space in that the liability that is placed on the venues and the bars is far greater now than it has ever been before.
Absolutely.
It's like almost like not even worth it. It's like, why would I even do this? Because if I serve someone who I don't think is that visibly intoxicated, but they go out and kill somebody, like, it can fall back on me. It's like this weird thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm always down for the early show. Like that, I don't know. I've been told I was wrong constantly. by anybody that has in that business, any bar manager. I mean, I work for Rob Friedman as the Friedman Hospitality Group. So he's got all these restaurants with bars attached to them. And my thing is why aren't you doing a 7 o'clock show?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't there, happy hour? You do happy hour and then there's a band playing. Why isn't this going 7 to 10 or 11? I don't want to stay out late. That's why our show on Friday, our doors open at 7. First band's on at 8, then
Yeah.
9, and then 10, like doing it that way. I want to be out of there by midnight.
Sure.
Like I don't want to be out till 3 o'clock in the morning like it used to be. And I don't know if I don't know. Everybody I talk to tells me I'm wrong, but all my friends that I talk to say, yeah, that would be great. So,
well, I mean, I remember being when I was young, like, I mean, I wouldn't get ready to go out until 9 o'clock. And I think that was the case for a lot of things, but like now things are different because the pandemic changed things a lot. Like a lot of bars aren't even open past midnight now.
Right.
Which I heard, according to them, is like, this is fucking sweet. Like, this is great.
Well, yeah, you have your 9 drunks at the end of the night, right? That they're just sipping on their beers and you're staying up all night, Yeah. But to me, I don't know. It just seemed like I would just shift everything a little bit earlier, and you might get more people like me. I mean, like you just said, so when you were younger, so yeah, you're right. When I was 22, 23 years old, you're right. I mean, 10 o'clock, man, I got 6 more hours or 7 more hours.
That's when you went out. You went out at 10, like you pre-gamed and you went out.
Right. So, but now, I mean, generally I'm in right now. I'd be in bed right now with 3 rescue dogs licking my face. Do you know what I mean? Like that's my night. And I mean, I'm up at 6 a.m. It's like, so I don't know. I mean, to say that crowd doesn't exist, I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it definitely does. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think, but and I'm sorry, but I think like you appreciate all of that. So yeah, you're still like a consumer of that. But people who are, younger than me, like late 20s, early 30s, like they never had that life. They never had that like mentality, I guess you could say. It's weird. Like, and I don't think I don't know, you have a 22-year-old daughter. What does she do for fun?
Horses. Horses. This girl, she does everything at home. Like, so she raises and reptiles like pythons. Like I'm serious. She does all that kind of stuff, any kind of nature stuff. She's not a going out kind of person, like a person that goes to the bar. They don't really go out to eat. Everything's done at home or in the nature, put it that way, hiking, all that. And, but even like, look at it now, what's been great. I don't know if you've caught any of the shows. No, you haven't because you're home with the baby, but all of our venues are doing 7 to 10 shows. It's duets, Teddy Young, Dustin Douglas, Teddy and Dustin, which is an amazing combination. And to me, I'm like, they're getting it. I know they're just duets though. I want to see full bands doing that, and I mean, it's that earlier show. And I mean, I don't know. I just think that there may be a whole, there may be 100 people that might want to go, that will actually go out, that weren't going to go out before, because music doesn't start till 10.
Yeah, I tried doing that. I don't know if you were familiar with it. I did an Alt Natives Underground live at Carl Hall when I had the radio show. It was like an extension of the radio show. So it was a Thursday night at Carl Hall. I think the doors were at 7 and the show started at 8 and we were done by 9:30.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. I mean, I built it that way. It's like, if you want to use it as your springboard for your Thursday night out, that's fine. If you want to come out for an early show and be home by 9:30 to go to work the next day, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Try doing it. And it was going well. And then the pandemic fucked it up.
Yeah. So then just wait. Just got to start it back up again. You got to get AJ on the ball,
Yeah. I've been meaning to reach out to him.
Yeah.
To try and start something again.
He's an awesome dude, man. He's
the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just saw him at the Jazz Cafe not too long ago. I was there for the University Drive show. But he got me towards the end of the night, and that was like one of my. Again, that was, I think my daughter was 6 weeks old, and the only reason I was out that early into her life was because my wife had gone out 2 weeks prior with her girlfriend. So I put it in my back pocket and I said, I'm going to cash these tickets in
Yeah,
for that show. But
keeping score.
yeah, well, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna. No, we don't do that. But it's like I kept it in the back pocket,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was an important show to be. I mean, it was a great show. It was University Drive, James Barrett, Retrovi.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm missing somebody. I forget. But
Yeah, I was there earlier before it started.
oh, were you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I work in the building,
Oh, okay.
because that's one of
One
the
of Rob's
buildings that
places. Yep.
Rob owns. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, uh,
But
I mean,
I took an
yeah.
Uber there. I was getting Uber home, and I was a little bit not sober towards the end of the night. So I saw AJ, but I I vaguely remember our conversation.
Well, that's
But
good then. It
yeah,
was
it's
a good
great. It
night.
was great. We had a great time. But
Yeah,
so yeah, let's transition into that. You have a show there, the 23rd of
yeah.
September, the day after the montage show. Talk about that and what we can expect from that show.
Well, so the night before, we're all kind of just doing short sets, just because of the five bands. And we have three bands, and all three are planning on doing like, full sets or over an hour of music for each guys. You know what I mean? So I think I did $10 if you do a pre-sale, $12 at the door, that kind of stuff, just kind of almost covers all of our costs of everything,
Yeah,
and it's just it's going to be a great night. I think the Black Layer is the name. Layer, not Lair, is the name of the first band that's going to be going on. They're two brothers that I grew up, like, well, they're a little younger than me, but grew up riding bikes with them. um Literally he pre-records the bass tracks, some backing vocal tracks. They play along to it. It's pretty neat. It's just drums and guitar and then two guys singing. It's I was laughing. I kept telling them we're going to name their band Stool, Stoner Tool. That's what I was dubbing them as. It's really awesome. It's a really cool blend of music. They're great musicians. Obviously they're super close family, super close. So everything they do together, and the music it's crazy seeing these two guys play together because they're the same person. They have the same voice. It's awesome. They'll be opening up. We'll be going on second. I think we're gonna play probably three songs shy of our full catalog. I'm gonna try and put everything in there we can, everything that I'm comfortable singing. So I do, I'm doing some of that's 4-part harmony, and it gets lost in translation live when there's only two of us that sing.
sure.
So I kind of, a couple of those songs we're not doing. And there's a bunch of songs from the new album. I think actually all 6 songs. We're just doing an EP, so we have 6 for the new album, and we'll be doing all 6 of those. So I think we're doing like 9 or 10 songs or whatever. So
Nice.
it'll be, and then hopefully I can get my chest signed by Tyler Salek from Holtzman Effect. I want to get my
Sure.
chest signed. They're my heroes. They're like my number, believe it or not, they're like number one in all my playlists, which is, amazing to me. I mean, that's why I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm starstruck, because I don't want those guys to think they're good, but they're amazing.
They are.
I listen to those guys just as much as I listen to all of my heroes, which is pretty awesome. Beef's got an incredible voice, man.
Oh,
I just, I keep telling Tyler that I'm going to do like an acoustic cover of one of their songs, and I just, but it's so hard to do it justice vocally, and yeah, I can't wait. You wait till you see me. If there'll be video. I'll be at the front and stage. I'll have like all of their merchandise up. I want to get it signed. You know, I'm a super fan.
yeah. I mean, I don't know
The
how
only
you.
reason we're doing this show is so I can see them guys play.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't be. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, they're awesome.
yeah, they
So
are.
yeah, it really is. And that, I believe that. So I think Clyde did their previous work too as well. The couple singles in their first album. I think Clyde had done that as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's the one actually turned me on to them. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're great. So it's gonna be a good night, you know. I mean, I'm sure everybody will have merch for sale. I don't know, maybe we get some kind of carnival act there at the end or something. I don't know, you know, it's a juggler.
Yeah. And if you need merch, contact me at Axelrod Screen Printing.
Oh yeah, I do.
Boom, boom. See that?
No, I have a whole box of shirts right behind me. I
No,
do.
I'm not saying you. I know
Oh,
you already said you were there. I'm saying anybody
yeah.
else.
Do you guys, you know, do you guys do what else do you guys do besides shirts? Do you
Whatever you want.
really?
If we can print on it, we'll do it.
Koozies,
Yeah.
hats, like all
We
that kind
do
of stuff. You know?
koozies. Yeah, we do hats. We typically embroider hats.
Yeah.
We could do socks if you want to.
Socks. Candle in
Yeah.
the dark socks would be pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do underwear.
Underwear.
Yeah.
Candle in the dark thongs.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking like my face on underwear. I have a big problem
Oh.
putting my face on things. Yeah.
Why? I loved
don't
it. Well, I mean that your logo is incredible. I love it. That's
So check this out.
look at that. Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that a buffalo?
Yeah.
So my wife's from Buffalo. She's gonna love that.
Yeah.
I gotta get one now for her.
$15 on sale now.
They're
I
on sale.
got baby blue shirts. I've got gray shirts.
Yeah, she'd be more of a gray shirt kind of cow.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
You got them in small.
Yeah. Oh, what's my inventory here?
She's gonna cut the
Yeah.
sleeves off and cut the neck out of it and make
I
a
have-
gym shirt out of
I
it.
have 3 gray Bella canvas, nice shirts.
Nice.
I didn't cheap out.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Let me know.
She's gonna love it.
Yeah.
You gotta start doing, you gotta do more. You gotta expand. I mean, what about like, you know, Popko cufflinks for your classy, you know, you have classy listeners too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I've got some buttons.
Nice.
We can do some buttons, yeah.
You better watch out. Todd Sebecki is probably going to be you for Halloween one year.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, he could probably do something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Satan Claus was my favorite one. Was it the King Diamond Claus? Yeah, that's what it was. It was King Diamond Claus.
He's wild.
He's out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
I know him. I think I've known him since he's probably like 14 or 15 years old.
He's the best, but he's out of his mind.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They're all my brother's friends. You know, that's that 12-year difference thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know what Todd you're going to get. Today, I made a comment and I was like, he might punch me in the mouth. I don't know. It was a risky move, but he laughed. I was like, all right.
Yeah. He's a loose cannon. He really is. It's amazing.
But I like it. We need that in the world.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know, I don't know if there were more Todds out there, you know, holding people accountable for what they said, things would be a lot nicer.
That's what I'm saying.
Know? Yeah.
People would think twice before saying what they say.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I don't know. I got beat up a lot as a kid because I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
But that was, but like you said it and you knew there was consequences. So it's like,
oh yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like you just type it on a keyboard and it's like, what can you do?
Everybody gets away with it then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see it all the time. I try not to read the comment section of any post that I enjoy. If I like a post, I say, wow, that's so funny. Let me not open those comments.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to be offended by that. And if they're offended by that, I'm okay with that. You're allowed to be offended by that, but just stay home with it.
You're not allowed.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to be offended. You're not allowed. You know, that's it's not okay, Dave.
Well,
how dare you? How dare you?
That's how I am.
You gotta be nice to everybody.
I am.
You can't have it. You cannot have an opinion of your own.
I am generally, I could be from the neutral planet. Like I'm gray almost at all times. Because if someone says something to me, I could find it funny, offensive, sad, or, you know, it can make me happy. It can make me mad. I can go so many ways with it. It just depends on the kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah.
So it's,
But
I mean, well,
but what happened to be able to have your own opinion on things and like I don't know.
well,
It's too PC.
like
It's too yeah,
everything's too far left and right, up and
yeah.
down,
Right? It really is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
out of control.
yeah.
Out of
Well,
control.
it's the same thing, even in music, oh, that band sucks. Really? So that platinum selling band, they suck. You're right. They have to actually suck, whether you like them or not. Remember the trend, you hate Nickelback,
I
right?
fucking love Nickelback.
Exactly.
I fucking love Nickelback.
Well, there's nothing wrong with
And I
those
love
guys.
Creed.
All right,
I'll
now
die on both of those
that's
hills.
kind of ridiculous. No, but yeah, but no,
I
seriously
don't
though,
care
it's
what you
like
think.
how could people just say, oh, they suck? Well, no, you just don't like it, and if you don't
Yeah.
like it, fine. Just why even tell someone they suck? Why tell someone?
Yeah.
Because nobody cares.
Yeah.
But you're the only one that cares. You want to hear your voice.
Yeah, but
You
they're
know,
probably also those closet ones that like them. They just think it's cool to hate them.
yeah.
Like
I didn't like Chad's hair. You know,
yeah, a little ramen-esque, right?
yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So if Chad would have done something different with his hair, I might have owned an album. I didn't buy an album because I didn't like his hair.
I mean, new Chad is like much shorter now.
I
They just released a
also
new song.
new song. I was
Did you
just
know
going to
that?
mention that. I was literally I was doing some work at Ricasa, and I came out to my truck and I had to go somewhere, and literally that's right when they were playing it. I think Duffy was playing it. He was talking it up, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." It was something different. I didn't expect it. Let's just say that I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Nickelback fan from like 99 to probably 2008. Let's see real quick here. Dark Horse was okay. Yeah, so oh wait. Yep. And then they lost me big time. Like 2011 here and now, terrible. 2014, no fixed address, fucking terrible. They came back with Feed the Machine in 2017. And they had some good songs on that, like almost old school Nickelback, like real chunky guitars, like
Yeah.
kick your teeth in style shit. There were a couple decent songs like that, nothing crazy, but I did see they released a new song just recently. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
I've never experienced that band playing the way that song sounds to me. So I don't know their whole catalog. So I don't know. It could be something repeated that I never heard before, but it was definitely not, look at this photograph. It
I
wasn't
love
like,
that fucking song.
right. It wasn't
How
like
dare
that.
you?
This is, oh, no, I'm not making fun of it.
I don't care if you are. It's fine.
I don't mean to offend you.
Oh, I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
I,
care. You're entitled to your
what,
opinion.
what makes somebody dislike? I mean, so you were just telling me how big of a fan, then you're telling me that they had terrible stuff. What makes
But they do.
you dislike that stuff, or what makes it terrible?
They're
Coming
just
from a
not good
songwriter.
songs. They're just not good songs. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I mean,
But these are
eh,
sellable songs. They sold them.
I guess. I mean, I guess they did. I mean, I'm looking now. Bottoms Up was like, commercial. Like,
Well, so that wasn't one of my favorites.
oh
That wasn't one of,
no,
that sounds like one of those formula songs.
it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. It was
Who's
just.
who's that guy on YouTube? He takes he imports 7 to 12 songs from current country music into Pro Tools, and he splices them, and he plays like the verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus from 3 different songs right into each other in the same tempo, in the same key. Almost all melody lines go over, and by the time the end of the song, he plays all of the choruses to the 7 songs together, and it
Mhm.
sounds great because they're all the same song.
Right. Well, I mean,
It's
there's a
like,
formula to
yeah,
music. Right?
exactly, right, and a lot of bands are writing from that, and I mean,
Well,
I have my own formula. I don't know if it's a formula, but I have my own. Like, everybody knows how my songs are arranged. Like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, this is typical. These guys hear the rhythm the first time, and the third time we play the song, it's like they've known it for a year. So it's like I'm very predictable.
But there's a reason it sounds good. I mean, it's,
That's how I try to make. Well, I only write this stuff for myself. Like, I want that in my playlist or in my CD player or whatever,
sure.
like, so that's the reason I do it. you know, so I mean, if someone else doesn't like it, I mean, all right, I can accept that. I mean, because I'm not writing it to sell it to you. I
Hmm.
mean, it's for sale,
Sure.
so it could pay for itself, but I'm not writing it to sell it. I'm not writing it to be, I mean, all of us are, you know, we all have jobs, we all have our retirement planned out. If we end up playing music for retirement, so be it,
Sure.
you know, but I'm not, yeah, I think that's what makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we were writing it, we all wanted to be rock stars. Now I can care less, you know, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you get to an age too, it's like you realize that ship has probably sailed.
yeah, oh yeah, right.
Unfortunately, right? It's
It
like,
is what it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I couldn't do that for a living. I don't even know how Aaron's doing it right now. You know, I
well,
was
he's in
sit
fantastic shape.
every Tuesday. No, listen, he got in fantastic shape. I sat there at Hops every Tuesday, and me and my wife listened to him. I called it Irish Tuesdays. Every single cover he did sounded like an Irish jig. It didn't matter what it was, you know. I mean, it was funny too because he's like, all right, someone yell out something different. My wife's like, you know, OAR, and he's like, I know an OAR song. And I'm like, what the hell is an OAR? You know, like it was like I didn't even know these songs, right? But she's like, play the Scorpions. He'd make it sound like an Irish song, like no matter what it was. I tell him right now, he's playing Irish Break and Bend, the new album. It's going to be
Yeah,
all Irish.
anyone watching or listening, we're talking about Aaron Bruck. He's the current bass player and vocalist for, well, backing vocalist or
Yeah,
sometimes vocalist for a little band by the name of Breaking Benjamin.
yeah.
Uh,
Watched him every Tuesday.
Dude, me and like Aaron used to play at Liam's, and my apartment at the time was a block away from Liam's,
Yeah.
and we'd fucking close the bar down. And he was at the time in the band called Panacea.
Yeah.
He'd take me out to his car. Um, he tried to touch me once. I told him no. He respected me. I'm kidding, obviously.
So
I'm
wait,
kidding.
he stopped when you said no?
Yes, yes, he stopped. He must have respected my authority.
Oh.
Uh, I'm totally kidding. But like, he would like we would go out to his car. He had a
Yeah.
Subaru at the time, and he would play me like songs that he was working on with Panacea.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always get like a little glimpse of what they were working on. But yeah, I mean, his success in his time in Breaking Benjamin couldn't have happened to a better person.
That's what I say. You know, well, honestly, it's not what I say because, and he could verify this. I had all of these songs written in the studio. I'm like, Aaron, I see you know, he's like, oh, but just send them to me in waves. I'll record them and send them back. I'm like, no, you got to come to the studio. You got to record them in the studio, man. Cause like, I'm going to tell them what to do, of course, you know, cause I'm the man, I'm the producer. And he's like, you know, I got no time, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, oh, I can't make it because I got this little tour for millions of people.
Yeah,
Like all of it, you know, now my studio is nothing compared to where he's recording, you know.
right.
But I will say he did me a solid though. He sent me his what is it? Big Nasty Baseballs patch on his fractal. So I have all of his bass tones.
Okay.
So I was using that in the studio. Pretty solid. It was pretty neat. I don't know who you know programmed it in there, but he pulled the file out and sent it to me. It was pretty awesome, you know. So I mean, I don't actually that's everything on that Candle in the Dark. That bass tone is his settings that he sent me.
Very cool.
Big Nasty Baseballs.
I wonder if we can expect anything new from that band.
I don't know. It's gonna
I
sound
hope
the
so.
same.
I mean, but again, formula.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, that's I mean, I can't say I haven't enjoyed it. You
Yeah.
know, I especially the what was no, didn't they just released something though? I just heard something. What was it? There was
They were on a song with somebody
oh,
else.
is that what that was? Oh,
It was a star set song with Breaking Benjamin. It's called Waiting on the Sky to Change.
oh yeah, because I saw he shared that or whatever. I
Yeah.
know I clicked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they haven't released a new album since
Ember? What no, was that
yeah,
the name of the album?
it was Ember, yeah,
Yeah.
2018. And then they had that Aurora album, which is kind of like a acoustic type
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
different version of songs. That was cool too. But I'm looking forward to new stuff from them.
Yeah. I had a good time when they played the Woodlands. So when they remember they did acoustic show.
I
They
don't think I
did
was
it.
there for that.
See, I did it in the Grand Ballroom, and it was an acoustic show.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. So my daughter was like, I know someone that's famous, because I mean, I would bring her to the bar with me, and he would always play Incubus for her, like
That's
that was,
which
yeah.
song?
Usually Drive.
Oh, see, I always begged Aaron to play Wish You Were Here.
Oh, yeah, it's a great song too. My
Yeah,
daughter's a huge Incubus fan. Like
me
that's
too.
that's yeah. Oh, they're amazing, right? Still to this
I,
day.
and I'm not afraid to admit this. There's been times where I've been to concerts where I've teared up. Um, and I don't know, it's just if it just like if it brings back memories or if it's
Mhm.
just like I mean, I genuinely enjoy music. Like the love I have
Yeah,
for it is it's why I do what I do with this, and it's why I like with the radio show, like helping support local musicians and just
yeah,
doing what I could to like expand their reach. Like it's very important to me. Like
yeah,
it is there's it's a genuine thing that I do and that I love and like and all that. So like I've been at a Blue October show. I've cried during. We was Incubus's the 20th anniversary of shit. The album, I think it was with Drive and things on like yes, it was
make yourself.
Make Yourself. Yeah, it's 20
Mhm.
years of Make Yourself. Is it the was it the Man Center,
Hmm.
Philly? Is that it? I forget. But
Right.
yeah, I mean I just like
Yeah, they're
that for me
awesome.
was an emotional a happy thing, but like
Yeah, yeah.
emotional like I the power of music and the effects that it has is just
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. I
It's
mean,
amazing.
I'm totally like I can take the Science album like over and over again. Like that to me, that's where I mean, obviously that was the first thing I heard from them, and I loved Make Yourself, loved Morning View, Crow Left and Murder, like all that. I don't think there was an Incubus song that I dislike.
Not
Right?
one.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. To me, Jose's like in my top five drummers of all time. He could just play that simple kit and just be amazing at it. Like just even the acoustic stuff,
Yeah.
that acoustic live stuff is amazing, like how they do a jazzy version of what is it, Shade of Green, was that
Yes. Yeah.
is that they did a
Yep.
jazzy version of it,
Yeah.
it was just amazing. um yeah, I just they were so ahead of their time. To me, they were the modern day Police. Like,
Okay.
like that's how I looked at them, and I'm like, what are these guys gonna sound like 20 years from now? Now, 20 years later, I'm like, I didn't think they were going there. I didn't, not that I don't, I mean, I enjoy it, but I just thought they were gonna I thought it was gonna get crazier. I thought it was gonna get, because I love techie music and all that, so this band went in the opposite direction I expected them to. And I'm still satisfied with it, which is great. But I mean, I love unsellable things. I can't help it. The stuff I listen to, I mean, it's I I don't know. What was it? Soften the Glare is my new thing. Soften the Glare.
Soften
So
the glare.
Soften the Glare, the bass player from uh what the heck band, Mudvayne's in it.
Okay.
And the craziest bass stuff that you've heard in Mudvayne. Well, just imagine it to the 10th power, and that's what's in this. It's all fusion guitar, drums, everything. It's all instrumental. It's amazing. Um, yeah, so I'm into a bunch of stuff that won't sell anybody. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess someone's buying it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I've never been like I said, this is it for me. I'm in the Barry Manilow music now to me, which will be the softest band at the Montage thing. If you think about it, I'm like, I was always in the other direction. Like we were playing with rock bands and we are like, oh, here's the metal guys. And now it's like, oh, here's the posers.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did you go see Limp Bizkit when they were in town?
I did not.
Oh, shame.
I can't handle those crowds anymore. What are you, crazy? I'm an old
It was,
man.
dude. It was perfect. It was
It
like
was,
it was a
yeah.
third of a venue.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't even half. It was like a third. Like they were like, imagine the ice like in the rink. Like it was like
yeah,
towards the goal.
Yeah.
which is the one side of the venue. It was the best thing I've ever been. So I had like zero expectations. I mean, I was a huge Limp Bizkit fan growing up. Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavor Water, and the two albums before that, and even the ones after that. I remember there was one in 03. Results may vary. And then they came out with Gold Cobra, I think in 2011, 2010, one of the 2 years. I'll even look it up here real quick. But so I went in with zero expectations. I'm like, okay, this is probably not going to be anywhere near, what I think it's going to be, because I mean they're older, whatever.
I was digging his look more than anything.
Yeah, well, that's how he dressed for the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Gold Cobra was it
Yeah.
was 2011, and then even like they kind of dropped an album out of nowhere just last year. Yeah, last year I think it was, or it was this year. No, last year. Still sucks. But I went in there like no expectations, and I had the most fun I've had at a show in the longest time.
Yeah,
It was so much fun. Like they were like comical. They were having fun. Like Fred was dressed like an old man.
that's amazing. I love that outfit.
Yeah, Wes was, dressed in a weird outfit like he always is, which always freaks me out. But yeah, it was a great, great show. I mean, I can't even.
I'd be excited if West did the Big Dumb Face again.
The Big Dumb Face.
Big Dumb Face. You never heard of it?
I must have missed that.
Oh, so it was 90s, I think, or 2000. It had to be 2000s, maybe. Big Dumb Face. It was his side project, and it was obnoxious. It was one of the songs was like burning blood red head on fire or something like that, or blood red head on fire. I mean, it's crazy. I don't even know how to classify it.
He had a different band that I was a fan of. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Yeah, Big Dumb Face though. You
Big
gotta,
Dumb Face.
yeah.
I'll check that
If
out.
you like West Borland, you have to enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's also a very unsellable album, which is probably why I like it.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Big Dumb Face. I'll check that out. Black Light Burns was a band he had.
I never heard of that.
2008 or 07, 08, early 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. Like you're talking shows, you're talking music and new music, and I am more impressed with the local bands than the big bands.
100%.
I mean, a huge thing for me, obviously I'm so glad I wasn't disappointed, like new Megadeth album that was so hyped up. But it was just phenomenal. I've been a Megadeth fan, obviously since the 80s. And I mean, I think, in our old band, we probably covered 6 of those songs. You know what I mean? Like, so I was always a huge Megadeth fan, and they kind of fell off the face of the earth for me. And then this new album was cool. But outside of that, it's always literally all the local releases are incredible.
I keep going back to, I had a radio show, and, I feel like, there's 3 stations in the market. Oh, there were 3, now there's 2. But I feel like I did it. I don't want to say better. That's not the right word, but I did it differently. And I feel like I shined a light on a variety of different genres and just artists that, since I've left those the stations, still not being covered. It's like I almost like left a blueprint. Like here's like all this great music, like James Barrett. If he doesn't get to the next level, I'll be shocked. I mean, University Drive gets played on both that are existing now. But a band called Sweet Nest, and I mean, I was even playing rap. There's Ty Soul, there's Guts Savage.
Yeah, Clausen's amazing. I'm doing a collaboration with eventually, because we keep talking about it.
Yeah, Maine the Medicine. I mean, Maine is, but like those guys are getting zero play, zero. Right. Like, again, I'm not trying to pound my chest or pat myself on the back, but like, it was stuff that no one is featuring it, and it's a shame. It's a goddamn shame.
I mean, yeah, Ty's latest release, he's got new stuff going on all the time. Yeah. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Dakota.
Yeah,
that was the band. Retrovi is a great new band. But I always say like I would put the talent and the musicians that are here in this area up against any other city across the country.
Right. If we
Hands
were all
down.
in a different city, we'd all be having a different conversation.
Right.
That's how I always felt.
Yeah.
You know, we would definitely, if this is Margaritaville, that's
It's,
where this is.
and I wish there were more venues to play. I wish the scene was like it was, in the early 2000s and even when you were, running the
Hmm.
circuit. Like I mean, there's a lot of great bands that I feel like, it's hard for them to find places to play, to find that outlet to, and that might be like discouraging to an
Well,
extent,
they remember they used to have open mic night at the Jazz, which was, it was awesome. Dennis played it like when he was a little kid,
Hmm.
and the thing I'm thinking about like is I think Tony's Wine Cellar does it, but every
Yep.
time I look at the post, it's an all-star cast, man. It's all the heavy hitters, the Huskies and
Yeah.
Teddy Young and
Brett
Destin and
Alexander.
and I'm happy to see them playing because they're all amazing and I love the videos. Like, so I'm glad that that's happening because magic happens because they're all up there in improv and it's so I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But that would discourage, actually right now I don't think I would go up for open mic night. It would discourage me. I would not want to get on stage along with those guys all the time.
But
So could you imagine a true beginner not going up there for that reason? Intimidation, not saying to do it on purpose, obviously they
right.
don't, but you still need a true open
Okay.
mic.
So the V Spot has one in conjunction with the NEPA scene on Tuesdays.
Hmm.
That's a very well attended event and also very like, you can be very green and go there and do music or comedy or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But like going back to Tony's Wine Cellar, if you're an aspiring musician, like you could go there and learn a
Oh,
fucking ton
oh my God.
and then you
Yeah.
want to get better. So
Right.
there's that side of it too.
Well, they have to go. Not to say, yeah, they could learn something even how to go, even if they're not getting on stage. Just but those like because but they're all heavy hitters, man. There's
Yeah.
seriously, everybody that goes on that stage is amazing.
Yeah. Brett Alexander. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? But
Yeah. I see. So speaking of that, like even remember, like we were talking about jitterbugs at the time. So taking back to the Badleys and doing medleys of songs. And I said that, someone asked me, you guys gonna do any covers? I'm like, I'm not a cover band. And then I'm thinking, man, they used to do medleys of stuff. Let me do 10 covers in a 3-minute song. You know what I mean? Like that one chorus into another or
yeah,
into,
that's awesome.
highlights. So I was thinking about doing that, putting something together, but everybody's kind of got to agree on it. Uh, but
Make it
we've been,
happen. You
yeah,
got 2 shows coming up. Make it happen.
yeah, I know. We should be able to put together a 10-song medley in a couple days, right? Because all these guys are still playing. They're in other bands. I'm like trying to get Kevin. He's like, oh, I got a show Thursday. I got to show this. This is my anniversary. It's like, uh, I mean, that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
he's active, which is great. So it's pretty refreshing to play with somebody like him because I need this harder, I need it softer, I need it anything. He changes everything. He's like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I've never actually, well, we played with him back in the 90s just for a short little stint. I don't even remember what happened with it, but I think he was in I think he was playing in a band. I think he might have been playing in Tribes. You remember that name?
Oh, hell yeah. Tribes.
And who else? Necessary Noise, I think, was another one. I thought he played in both of those bands.
Eric Ruddy,
Hmm.
that dinosaur.
Everybody's old.
Yeah, he's old. He's the oldest.
See, old. So I'm standing in here and Bill Space comes into the Jazz. I'm in there doing something. I'm working in there, and Bill Space comes in, and I'm like, Bill? It's like, hey, you like he has no idea I'm who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, great rock scare reunion. I'm like, what? And then I find out it's sold out like he's over capacity the first night. We couldn't even put tables into place. It was crazy. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So all these guys are coming in, like, sunny California. John Gonska is the other guitar player in there. Like he used to work at Rock Street. I mean, he did all kinds of repairs on my amps and stuff like that back in the day, all the tube stuff. But it was like seeing these guys come in here. I think they're in the 70s. And I mean, it was absolutely amazing that they packed this house and played all those songs that they played 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And so it's pretty cool. So I don't feel too bad. I don't feel too much like a relic, you know.
You've got some time.
I got a little bit of time to become a relic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Dave, I feel like
yeah.
we could talk all night. I mean,
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah,
this has
absolutely.
been an absolute blast. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't a weeknight and getting late, and I know you got an early morning too, but like,
Oh, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter. I got my
oh,
monster.
there you go, there you go. I'm slowing down here.
Yeah.
But no, this has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate it.
I wish I was introduced to you sooner, or at least your music, anyways. Best of luck. Like I said, we have two
We still
shows
got
coming up.
time. You still got time. There's more music coming. So
Oh, good. Well, good. Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap things up,
yeah.
what do you have planned? Obviously, we talked about the show at Montage, September 22nd, the show at the Jazz Cafe, September 23rd. Anything outside of that for Candle in the Dark?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try and wait. I want to wait till after the holidays. I'm gonna try and get this next album out. I have, I have to record. Everything's recorded but the drums. I demoed the drums on a program, just to get the recording down. And Kevin's working on everything now. So I'm gonna try and get another album out, and then, just to support it in that respect, and maybe I'll do a 10-song medley,
Record that.
Yeah, I'm not looking. We were looking for more with this band. We were looking for more showcases. Make it worth coming out. I don't want to play the same old thing every week, and I'm not traveling. I still want to play the same. I would like to play the V Spot next. I'd like to go up that way, play with the Holtzman boys again. Maybe they'll sign other stuff. Maybe they'll sign my guitars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I was really, if I play 4 to 6 times a year, I'm happy. I mean, I'd rather do more stuff in the studio or
Sure, yeah.
It's a little more fun here. Recording's always fun, and it was great. Duffy had me do a station ID commercial. So
awesome.
that I hear that constantly. It's pretty cool. It was basically wanted me to introduce myself, the band, and sing 97.9X to my song. So I literally just the melody line, everything to the song. I sing the station ID. It's pretty neat.
Nice.
I'll actually send it to you. I'll send you an MP3.
For sure.
It's like a 30-second clip or whatever, 15 seconds, I think. But it's pretty cool to hear that on the radio all the time. So.
And where's the studio based out of?
Now it's in Plains.
Okay.
I was in Kingston at my house, but I moved into a commercial area now.
Very cool.
So it's I have a little bit, I have like 800 square feet now, so it's a little better than a bedroom.
Sure, yeah.
Everything was taking place in the bedroom. It was tight.
Well, that's where all the other good stuff takes place.
Yeah, right. It was really hot in there.
We better wrap this up before it gets weird.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'll text you all the weird stuff when we're
done. All right. Dave, seriously, this has been an absolute blast.
I appreciate it.
I'm so happy we got to do this.
Yeah.
Best of luck at Montage, September 22nd, with the 97.9X Locals Only Live. The 23rd, the River Street Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
Stream the Candle in the Dark music on all the streaming platforms right now. And we'll look for that new music hopefully coming soon.
Look us up on Instagram. It's Candle in the Dark Band.
Cool.
And then there'll be links. You'll see my studio stuff on there. The Frankenstrat studio will be connected to that in some manner. We're on Facebook as well. I believe candleinthedarkband.com will be launching in the next week. Fortunately, the guitar player John is a webmaster, and he just built us a website to sell the merch through it and everything, and that kind of stuff.
It's good to have.
Yeah, it's always nice. Yeah, with YouTube, we have a video. I don't know. I send you a link to that. We have for one of our songs on there. We shot that at the Jazz and somewhere else. But yeah, so the bass player Gary, he's totally into like making all kinds of videos and stuff. So we're trying to do everything in house. Make it,
DIY.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
DIY rock star.
Back to your roots, man. That's how it all was done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, Dave,
All right, my man.
Thank you so much. Really
I
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
All
Yeah.
right. Take care. I'll
See
see
you,
you.
man. Bye-bye.
Show what your small business sells in 7 seconds.